In my quest to watch every adaptation of A Christmas Carol, I decided it was time to check out Scrooge. This is also sometimes known as A Christmas Carol. This was released in 1951. It's directed by Brian Desmond Hurst and written by Noel Langley. Of course, based on the story by Dickens, very closely based on the story. It's an adaptation that's quite true to the narrative, and we have Alastair Sim as Scrooge. And very briefly, just in case you're unaware of the story, Scrooge, in his bah humbug ways, does not like Christmas. He is not charitable. He is very greedy. And after being visited by the spirit of his deceased friend, Marley, he is then visited by three spirits, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future or yet to come. And as I said, it follows the story really closely, very recognizable. All of the key elements are there. And in terms of the portrayal of Scrooge, I think Alastair Sim's performance is very good, but it's definitely not up there as one of my favourite performances of Scrooge. I can't work out why it is. There was just something about the performance that I didn't completely love. And that's not because it was badly acted or anything, just compared to other Scrooges. I think he spoke very quickly, which might be a ridiculous reason for him not being my favourite Scrooge. But usually when we have Scrooge, he's quite slow in his ways, whereas with this one he came across as more bumbling. And that bumbling quality is not something I really associate with Scrooge. I think that's why, if I had to put my finger on it. But as I said, it's not a bad performance, it's just there are other versions of Scrooge that I personally prefer. With regards to the spirits, well, they were okay. They kind of increased. The spirit of Marley didn't look that great. It was okay. For the 50s, it was okay. I have seen better versions from around this time, but it was fine. The Ghost of Christmas Past wasn't too bad. The Ghost of Christmas Present, I loved. He was played by Francis de Wolff, and the character just looked exactly the way I expected him to. And then we have the Spirit of Christmas Yet to Come, which we obviously don't see that much of. That's pretty typical with A Christmas Carol, and I have no complaints about that character. They definitely seemed very foreboding. It worked quite well. So the spirits, not too bad, some better than others. And the music, I thought, was very effective. Some very atmospheric music that I rather liked. The pacing was great. In fact, it's probably some of the sharpest pacing I've ever seen with Scrooge or A Christmas Carol. Some of them take a little bit of time to get to the point, and some of them are maybe not weighted the way I'd like them to be with the spirits, but actually with this one, everything was very well done. The pacing was great. I never felt like it was rushed or like we were spending too much time on any one aspect. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. It wouldn't be my first A Christmas Carol recommendation. In fact, it probably wouldn't even be in a top 5, maybe not even a top 10. That's not to say there's anything necessarily wrong with it. There are just other versions that I think are maybe a little bit more, well, a little bit better in terms of the character of Scrooge. As I said, this isn't my favourite version of Scrooge, and also the spirits are maybe a little bit more interesting. But, as I said, the pacing is brilliant. Everything flowed really well. It never felt like it was dragging out. So there are a lot of positives here as well. Ultimately, Scrooge, or the 1951 A Christmas Carol, is a good film, and I am happy to recommend it.